about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy for Now. I'm here with a fun video. I know Tamika did this recently. It immediately was like, oh, I need to do this because I don't know who I expected to be in this list, but these are my top 10 most read authors on Goodreads. I just sorted by read authors and kind of just went from there pretty much, and did name searches to count, and the cutoff ended up being 12 was the starting point, and we had multiple ties across this grouping. So we have 3 authors that I've read 12 books from, 1 author I've read 13, 2 14 books, 1 15, 1 19, 1 24, and 1 25. Any guesses? First of all, before I run into this list, tell me if you have any guesses on who's going to be on this list. I was kind of surprised by some of these I'm not, and I'll kind of talk about the books by them I've read and why I know the number is what it is. Y'all ready? First up, we have Alithea Romig. So I started reading her Spider's Web series last year because of Steph over at Steph's Romance Book Talk talking about it, and I was finally like, you know, I'm doing this, I'm going in. So I went in, and yeah, I read like all of them. And I'd already read like one of her books before and didn't love it back in the day. So I was not surprised. She's definitely like a dark romantic suspense author, and her books span like duets or trilogies or more with the same characters. So you definitely have to go in knowing like book 1's gonna end on a cliffhanger, book 2's gonna wrap book 1 up and then end on another cliffhanger, and then book 3 you'll have your HEA or HFN at that end. So you do still get your romance genre qualifications, it just takes longer. So yeah, I was not surprised by this because every time I finished one of this series, I immediately had to read the next one, which is actually why I haven't read the last final Spider series, Spider's Web, whatever, Chicago Mafia one from her yet, because I was like, I need to know that I have like a solid 2 days to dedicate to it. Next is a classic YA fantasy author slash also adult author now. It's Sarah J. Maas, which does not surprise me. I mean, I've read all of Throne of Glass. I've read all of the ACOTAR series. I still haven't read Crescent City because I just haven't. I think I kind of don't want to be done with her books, to be honest with you. So I kind of like having Crescent City in my back pocket as like a read at some point, maybe this year. Because we know that most likely we're only going to be getting 1 book a year from her, which is totally fine. I don't need authors to write me like 5 books a year, but I worry because they're such a big fantasy series that like we could see them pushed out more. And then here's an author I don't think I've ever talked about on my channel, to be honest with you. And this is someone I read a lot, and I mean a lot of, when I first got into romance back in like 2009, 2008, somewhere around then. Yeah. So when I first got into romance back then, there was an author publishing. She still writes now, and she's got other less romantic suspense books, and these were like 2012 books, and it's Lisa Renee Jones. She wrote the Inside Out trilogy I think, and I blew through this series. I was like waiting on the edge of my seat for each new release. I got arcs of some of them, and then I kept reading more of her books as time went, which means that I've read like a pretty good selection. I don't really read her books anymore. I would be curious to try one of her newer ones personally, but I know her older stuff just at this point is not what I want out of my romances. Again, they feature that same trilogy duet situation where the story doesn't end in book 1. It like keeps going and like unravels as this like dark romance thriller situation. Like I remember the Inside Out series had like thriller elements and mystery as to who this dead girl was and some identity stuff. Yeah, it was just really fun. Okay, sorry, my light was off. Like it was in the wrong direction, so I fixed it. So if lighting just changed, sorry about that. So we have Charisse Sinclair next, who I've read 13 books from. We've now left our 12 book category. Yeah, so I think I read almost all of her books very quickly. And I've continued to like dabble in them as time has went, but I definitely don't marathon series like I used to. So there's that. But yeah, I love Club Shadowlands. I have a soft spot for it. Again, it's not perfect. I don't think there is a perfect BDSM representation book out there really, but these are definitely fun. Next we have Kristen Ashley, or Kristen Ashley, whatever you want to call it. I've read 14 books from her, which, okay, at first I was like, how? And then I realized I read all of Rock Chicks back in the day, and I love Rock Chicks, and I've continued, like, I want to go back and reread the Rock Chick series because I know, look, I know it's not gonna like fully stand up, but I'm really liking her new series as well that kind of dabbles in that same world. You know, we go to the same coffee book shop, characters make appearances, and they're just, this whole series is peak alpha male, like, asshole heroes, and I live for it. We know this. I love an alpha hero that is just no holds barred, like an asshole. And it's just, they're fun. They are also a romantic suspense-y thriller situation. Often we are hunting down murderers or solving crimes, and the Rock Chicks especially is fun because the girls are like, no, F you, we're gonna make our own Rock Chick detective agency, and we're gonna do this too. You can't stop us. And the guys are constantly having to swoop in and save them at the end, or they swoop in and they're like, God damn it, y'all, they're like, what did y'all do? You ruined this. Like, it's great. It is perfection. Then we have another 14 book author, which is Alyssa Cole, which honestly surprised me. I didn't feel like I had read that many Alyssa Cole books, but then I was like, holy crap, that's right. Like, there's this many of this series. I read some of her historicals. I've read almost all of her novellas, I think, now at this point. And I mean, Alyssa Cole is a multi-talented author. She can write in every genre skillfully, and it's incredible. It's just massively impressive, and I just adore her so much because not only do her contemporaries rock, her historical novellas in various time periods that we don't get enough representation of in our regular historicals are amazing. They're absolutely bomb. And, you know, she also manages to write like LGBTQ QIAP+ stories that are very representative. I love Alyssa Cole. Did not think I had read 14 books by her, but here we are. Then we have one that is an oldie but a goodie, and that is Charlaine Harris. I read all of Sookie Stackhouse back in the True Blood days. Loved the show, kind of.
Under the door and say, Sookie.
You know, if you watched it, you know what I mean when I say that. Loved the books, didn't read the last one. DNF'd it. I actually actively chose not to read it because of bad reviews and just read spoilers. So yeah, I read all of the Sookie Stackhouse series, and I really, really liked it. I continue to be salty that she doesn't end up with Eric, because that's who it should have been. It never, you know, what's his butt, Khaki Man should have never had a chance. Should have never had a chance. But yeah, I remember reading all of these back in the day. It would have been the 2010s. Back in the day in those 2010s. And yeah, I loved Sookie. I loved the Louisiana stuff. Is it perfect? No, but I don't know. If ever there was a place that stuff like this could happen, I feel like Louisiana's it. Having lived there, I lived there for 3.5 years. Like, I don't know, it just feels right. I feel like if I was gonna roam across like fairies and vampires and werewolves, it would 100% be in Louisiana. So I did like that part of it. Again, it's a fun series, but I can't believe I read that many. I feel like I need to read more other authors so I can like get some of these authors off the list. I don't want them here. But yeah, I basically refuse to read anything Charlaine Harris writes now or wrote after these or during these or any of that, because I just feel so betrayed by how she ended that series. Next we have maybe a surprise. I feel like I don't talk about her also a ton on my channel, but Aurora Reynolds. So she is an insta-love author. She writes really great insta-loves, I think. They're very fun, very alpha male again, situations they're kind of Kristen Ashley-ish, a little suspense in there, definitely like, oh, there's a whole thing where the family has a boom when they see the one and they know instantly they're the one. They've gotten worse as I've went through the series, but I'm completely caught up. As always, I read the next one as soon as it comes out. In the Until series, it's the second one. So the first series is Until, and it follows 4 brothers or family members, whatever. And then the next one is Till, Him, Her, and that one is following the kids of them finding love. And like, I really wanted to love a lot of them, and a lot of them just fell flat compared to the first 4, which I also don't love all of them. Nico is my personal favorite, but these are still really fun instant boom, instant love books overall. And I definitely think that, what should I say? What can I say? I definitely think they're like maybe worth your time if you want like quick fun reads. But yeah, none of them are like, most of them aren't standouts, but they're my bestie's favorite, which is why I ended up reading them. She found her and like blew through the series. It's her comfort read and she rereads them all the time. It's really cute. And I've met Aurora. She's super sweet in person. So yeah, I really like these. They're fun. That's all I got. She's got some books published by Montlake through Amazon now too, and those have been pretty enjoyable. She's very consistent in what she delivers for the most part. So the next one's probably not a surprise, but it's Kresley Cole. This did not surprise me. So I've read Immortals After Dark. I'm on my second reread of it ever. I have read some of her Poison Princess series. I have read her Game Maker trilogy. I've yet to read her historicals. That's all I'm missing. I need to read some of her historicals. But yeah, I've read a lot of Kresley Cole. And since 2019 when I first started reading her, I think I started reading her with the Poison Princess trilogy, I don't, whatever series. It's more than a trilogy now. Back when that came out, and I didn't really know much about Immortals After Dark yet, and then I have since ventured into the Immortals After Dark world and haven't touched Poison Princess. So there's that. I really liked it. I really love Kresley. I've talked about it before. She is full stop my id, which is unsurprising if you see the books I like. Again, alpha males, banana pants plots, and over the top everything, and that's what I want. So that's where we are. Okay, my most read author. Any guesses? Because it's definitely banana pants plots, banana pants setups. So let me know if you have a guess. All right, that's Ruby Dixon. This is not surprising because I have, in 2019, I went through all of Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarians and got caught up. I'm since caught up, I think besides like the most recent release maybe, with her books. And I try to read them like every couple months. I try to read some of them. So yeah, I have read most of Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarians backlist, and I need to read Ice Home still, and I need to read her Reestaverse series. Again, Ruby Dixon is an author I go to when I am in a slump, when I want banana pants, when I want to go on a trip and a journey and not worry about it and know that like we're gonna be good. I'm not picking up like a new to me banana pants. I'm picking up someone who I know can deliver that banana pants plot, because that is Ruby Dixon to a T. I did a vlog of me reading all of the Ice Planet books that have 2 parts like 2 years ago. I don't know how it is. You can go find it if you want. Maybe I should do more, I don't know, because I really love Ruby. And I really want to read Ice Home, so maybe we'll do a vlog where I read a bunch of Ice Home. I also want to read the Reestaverse, whatever, that other one. But yeah, Ruby is not a surprise to me because again, Ice Planet alone has like 20 books now, I think, or 18. We're getting up there, like not even counting novellas. And I've read her God and Anchor books some. Yeah, I love Ruby. Ruby's great. If you haven't tried Ruby Dixon yet, I can't recommend her enough. Maybe don't start with the first Ice Planet book, or if you do, DM me and I'll give you like a rundown of some chaos that happens. So I want to know, who is your most read author? Do you know? Have you ever looked? Are you surprised by any of mine? Is there anyone you expected to be on my list? And maybe in another year or two, we'll come back and revisit this, see if it's shifted, because I feel like a lot could change between now and next year on who I've read the most of. I had a lot of authors that were tied under 12, so I could see the list like shuffling some as I read some more authors backlists this year and get caught up on a few series. If you made it this far, drop a banana emoji in the comments, of course. I mean, I said banana pants how many times in this? Or pants, or bananas and pants. Drop an emoji of that variety down there for me. I have links to everywhere. You can find me on the internet down there if you want to be my friend. Hit that like button if you made it this far and enjoyed the video. And I will see y'all in a few days in my next video. Bye.
Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.